A to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you.
que só ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra crer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Não é só na vida que a vida, não é na janela que se olha. Há uma linha clara perto da saída. Fecha os olhos e você vai ver. Não é só aqui que o sol ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra querer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Ever since we met last night, I've been trying to keep my distance. I just wanna play my cards right. It takes one false move and you'll be gone. But maybe it's alright. I can't tell if it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore. 'Cause it's starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Oh, I'm yours. Never thought I'd even try. After just one day, it's special. Yeah. I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say
Chat room.
where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh.
In the chat room.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
Gender.
It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what.
Tell those good lines.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
Bobbity bobbity bop. We are back. We are back. We are back. Shout out to the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. The CIA. One love to the feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. The FBI. How are we doing, everybody? Your godfather is back at home in hot Lizzle. We're back in hot Atlanta where the house is packed, and it's going to be a great. That was a great time in Miami. It was so much fun. I did so much work, got so much stuff accomplished and completed. Nothing like going out and getting work done. And when you love what you do and you are blessed to work yourself into a position to be able to enjoy your job, that's a good thing. So, candle of the evening, when I get back, I always do the same thing, Le Labo. And it's either going to be Cade 26 or Santal 26. My two go-to candles. And today, Cade 26. And then the fragrance of the day, man, I just want to smell like classic old school perfumery. Thyme, lemon, lavender. This is one of those fragrances that you could just not overspray. This one is called Cologne pour la matin, Cologne of the morning. So, and one love to everybody who loves the fact that I start the show off talking about some classy stuff. Fragrances, candles, because even to my young Thundercats, it's so important as a man to keep your shit together. So important to keep your stuff together and define what being a masculine man is. 3 archetypes. I'm the refined archetype. There's the rake and there's the rogue. Okay? And then when we get into April, I'm going to do a breakdown on all these so you guys can understand what to look like in the day, in the evening, how to dress at work or casual, and how to dress when you're going out. Because a suit is, every man needs at least two suits. A universal suit, like a gray or a blue, and then a black. You can wear it for formals. But now I've talked about the phases of life, 18 to 30, that Esquire phase, where you're in process, okay? And then the next phase of life where you're deciding what you're going to be. You're deciding whether or not you're going to go down that path of building a legacy and a family. I call that the GQ phase of life, that kind of synonymous with a lion. Or if you are Game of Thrones fans like me, this would be more symbolized with like the Lannisters, House Lannister. Shout out to the Lannisters. Hear me roar. Shout out to the Lannisters. You know? And then I want to focus on the next house. Everybody ain't trying to be a husband or have a family. A lot of guys are just trying to do their bachelor thing. And kudos to you. I want you to think of this as like House Martell, the Red Viper. But the day I'm rewriting the Game of Thrones, the Red Viper beats the shit out of the Mountain. The Mountain dies to the Red Viper in my story. Oberyn Martell was the man, outside of the fact that he decided, not that anything wrong with that for him, but, Oberyn Martell in my book, he is straight with the ladies. Because think about Oberyn Martell was such a cool character. He was an assassin, a skilled trained fighter. He was an intelligent man. He studied poisons. He was like a Tony Stark character of sorts. And people feared the Viper, the Red Viper of Dorne. So I want you guys to understand that I'm giving you archetypes to kind of picture yourself after. Whether you want to be like the Lannisters, family, legacy, hear me roar, that gold lion. Or if you want to be, but notice the Martells and the Lannisters, they didn't really get along, but in this world, we do. The Esquire phase of life. Let me think about that one. A good Esquire phase of life? I think the Baratheons would have been good for Esquire phase of life because there's so many different things you could have been. You could have been Robert. You could have been the older brother. You could have been the younger brother. But they were all men. I think the Esquire phase lines up a lot better with the Baratheons than the Starks of Winterfell. No diss to the Starks of Winterfell. But let me think about that. Yeah. But I'm open to this one. What do you guys think the Esquire phase? I think lines up better with the Baratheons. Because there's so many different Baratheon types. The Starks, all that nobility, that Jon Snow, that Ned Stark, they lose their heads because they stupid. And then the ultimate house, in my opinion, in my story, the Esquire phase of life, then you have the Lannisters, the Martells, but in my story, when you really have your shit together and you make it to the top 20%, top 10%, really in the top 10% of men, not just in money, but in mindset, this is when you become a Targaryen. This is when you become a dragon rider. Yeah, your godfather is probably the coolest motherfucking nerd you know. Over here, we make it cool to be a nerd, cool to be a geek. I rep geek culture, nerd culture, strong, always have. And one of the things I used to love was taking my nerds in high school, and like, man, we can still nerd out Dungeons and Dragons, but man, put on some cool shoes, man. Throw on some Calvin Klein Obsession or some Escape or some shit, man. Let's do this. Why is this important? Because I said so. All right, let's get to the program. Modern ladies, modern women surrender. Modern women surrender. Ding, 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 ding. Modern women are surrender. Well, y'all didn't know that? Modern women surrender. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 3 times. The gender war is over. But just because the war is over and major operations are completed, there are still plenty of people in the stragglers. And at any given time, you look at World War II, everybody didn't surrender at the same time. But modern women are beginning to surrender. How do you know? Because they're over here. They're over here, they're around men's lifestyle content. They're starting to listen even more begrudgingly. Conversations are changing. And I want you guys to understand that just like women, we have women who aren't built for the peace. Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country. Some people aren't built for the peace. There are going to be women who are going to fight to the death, and that's cool. That's cool. But modern women in the majority are starting to surrender because they're starting to realize that we're right. But here's the thing, gentlemen. Just because they're surrendering doesn't mean everything's going to be hunky-dory. Because modern women need to surrender. I want the modern women who realize the folly of their ways to start walking around with a white flag. Waving the right white flag. I don't care if you got a white handkerchief, a white mitzvah, a white scarf. Put a piece of white tape around your pinky finger. Wave the right flag to let men of value and thorough men, let the Henrys and the hit squad understand that you surrender. You need to surrender your need to be right. You need to surrender your independence for interdependence. You need to surrender your masculinity for femininity. You need to surrender your dog. Oh my God. How many women just cussed me out right then? Hey, sorry. You need to surrender them. Modern women need to surrender anything in their life that's taking up space. Modern women, you need to surrender your dog, your cat, your PhD.
I'm a PhD.
You need to surrender your career. You damn sure need to surrender your single girlfriends. You need to surrender your mama. You need to surrender your besties, your gay best friend, your male friend zone. Yes, I want modern women are going to need to go into isolation. Gentlemen, do not date a woman that's not in isolation. Because there's so many women who want to go from modern women to wife, and they haven't even gone through the process of being alone. Just like in the Esquire phase, you got to be alone. You got to go from being raised by the pride to being kicked out as young bachelors. You got to roam as nomads. You ever see what happens to young lions that get kicked out before they can take over a pride? It's a perilous time. Modern women need to surrender. And here's how you can see if a woman is surrendered. Look to see what sort of discipline, dedication, and who's leading her. If she's not disciplined enough to be in the gym, if she's not disciplined enough to push away from the table, if she has not cut herself off from everything that's keeping her modern and single, if she's not, it is better for modern women who want to surrender to get cut off everything else, pick up your spirituality, whatever your spiritual belief system is, that's on you. But you need to surrender to something higher than yourself. Because when you want to deal with the man over on this side, you're going to have to submit to him because he has to submit to something higher than himself. Even if that's not a religious system, that's just his purpose. Modern women need to surrender to the idea of being a wife, not a partner. Because men are not changing. Men are not changing and saying, okay, I'll accept you as a partner. I'll accept you, 300 pounds, and I'll accept this, I'll accept that. No. Men are starting to say, there are levels of survival we're willing to accept. Ladies, do you have a problem surrendering? Can you surrender your freedom? Ooh, did I just say that? Ladies, surrender your freedom because your freedom is false. You really want freedom? You know what freedom really is? A man. Because even an average man provides a woman with options. An average man provides a woman with options. But if you have a man of value, a thorough guy, he provides a woman freedom. Freedom! It's like that. Think about what was that? Braveheart. Freedom! Yeah. You know how many women are yearning for freedom? Yeah, ladies. Yeah. Modern women lack freedom. You don't have freedom. You don't have freedom. And where does freedom come from? It comes from your Lord and Master, your husband. Now, see, I want you guys to understand how many women are losing their crap on this. I'm not going to submit to a man. Cool. If you don't want to submit to a man, cool in the game. Celebrate your single life. Yeah. Celebrate dying alone. You don't have to surrender to a man. Woohoo! Celebrate your single life. Celebrate hot girl summer. I mean, come on. It's already about to be springtime, right? You survived Halloween to Valentine's Day. Now you get to do hot girl summer for the 9th time. Yay! Congratulations. You are 28 years old and you're still trying to go down to Cabo or Lauderdale or Corpus Christi. You're still trying to go to spring break. You know how many old ass fat women I saw on South Beach trying to live their college years? If you were still trying to hang out do you know how embarrassing it is to go to a college party at age 25? Now, if you're like 40 or 50, that sounds like, but remember, 18 to 21 when you was at a college party. But I want you to think about when you graduated and you tried to go back to a party on the yard 2 or 3 years after you left, you felt old as shit. You got women out here still trying to go to spring break. It's hot girl summer. Turn up. And I'm saying enjoy. I ain't gonna hold you. Don't want you to do nothing other than allow the women who want a different outcome some space to be. See, if you're a modern woman and you don't want to surrender, but you have a friend who wants to get married and wants children, do you care about your friend enough to leave her alone? I'm gonna tell you, I was dating somebody, and I told her, I was like, you're living around, your friends are all feminist and womanist. And her friends would do more to keep her in her mindset. And because women care so much about their friends, it is damn near impossible for women, especially for women who are over, especially women in the
Danger zone!
women in the danger zone cling to their friends. Well, scratch. Women in the danger zone are willing to cut their friends off. But women in no man's land, they cling to their friend. Why? Because they have not developed the skills necessary to surrender to a man. They tried once. They tried one time and they gave their all to a man. And it didn't work. For whatever reason, it didn't work. She was disappointed. And from that point on, she has been at best 80% of the woman she was. I want you to understand how many women are walking around 3/4 of a tank full. Look pretty, look all put together.
I'm a PhD.
3/4 of a tank full. Why? Because fear is that other quarter of a tank. But guess what, ladies? The only way to win is to surrender. How many people watch the movie War Games? In the comment section. In the comment section, who watched the movie War Games? Okay, we're gonna have to get these. Okay, first off, let me put this up here. I didn't put this up here the other day. Happy birthday to me. I didn't put my happy birthday thing up, so let me do this. I didn't put this up when I was in Miami. It's my birthday week. There you go. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me, damn it. How many people watched the movie War Games? In the movie War Games, there was a supercomputer, almost like Skynet. Think of Skynet in Terminator. And this computer was put in charge of all of the nuclear submarines, the entire nuclear arsenal. And the computer was an AI system that learned, kind of like in the movie Tron, and it learned how to play games. It became it was the whole scenario, self-aware. Guy hacked into it, asked it to play a game, and they were called global thermonuclear war. But the computer didn't know the difference between a game and the real world. So it was about to actually launch war. They pulled it out, they shut it down, they did whatever. But the computer had become so smart that it took on a life of its own. And the only way that was going to be possible to save the human race was to make this super duper smart computer play tic-tac-toe. Because every other game, there was a winner or a loser. Every other game, there was a winner or loser, even if it was 51% to 49%. Every game or war scenario, there was winners and losers, but somebody won. And it was going through all these permutations. And it started playing tic-tac-toe. X here, 0 there. X here, O there. X here, O there. X here. And then it came into a draw. If you've ever played tic-tac-toe, it ends in a draw. And then it did it again. Then it did it twice as fast. Then it did 3 times twice as fast. Then eventually the computer started playing tic-tac-toe at a frenetic rate. And the computer started playing tic-tac-toe so fast, and it was using so much computing power that it was draining the system. Shit was smoking and everything else. And then what ended up happening? The missiles are about to launch because the computer is playing this game over here, it's playing this game over here. And then the computer stopped everything and said, strange game. The only way to win is not to play. The computer recognized that tic-tac-toe is a losing game, and the only way to win is to not play. How about a nice game of chess instead? That movie's ending was brilliant. The gender war, ladies. Your independence. The only way to win is to not play. You can do your own homework and research and go look at any civilization and recorded history and chart a few things. When politics began leaning more liberal, when women became landowners or started getting access to the levers of political power, increases in female employment, education, and all these things, and the decline of the civilization was not far off. And the arrogance that we have is that we think that because we have computers and and smartphones and Google, that we as human beings are not the same hunter-gatherer nomads in our primitive mind. I'm sorry. As an image consultant, I use human evolutionary biology and psychology to my advantage. I understand the primitive human mind very well. And women, understand, you have been given the fantasy of independence and turned into, I wish I had the battery in the Matrix, a battery for the machine. And the only way to really win is to not play the independent game, ladies. You must surrender the independent game. You must surrender the partner game. You must surrender the we're equals game. You must surrender there are no generalizations aren't valid. You must surrender that there's always gray area. You must surrender nuances. You must surrender all of this thinking that when you ask a woman, what is this or this? Well, it all depends. If you walk around saying everything always depends, you have lost. It depends. It depends. It does not depend, ladies. Your life depends upon you not playing this game. How many ladies want to play tic-tac-toe? How many ladies want to play tic-tac-toe? It depends. It depends. Hey, ma'am. Are men and women equal? Well, it depends. Really? There you go, right there. It depends. Are we equal? Well, it depends. Asking the Ukraine, are they equal? They'll tell you right now. We're not equal. It depends. You don't want to surrender? Okay, cool. For the women who don't want to surrender, pick up a gun and man a post. For the women who don't want to surrender, pick up a gun and man a post. And get out there and defend the country right along with the men. Get up front and talk all that shit from the front. That's what you do. That's what you do, but that ain't what's going to happen now, is it? Oh, no. That's not going to happen. Ladies, what are you ready to surrender, ladies? Are you willing? Are you ready to surrender your independence? See, let me tell you guys why so many women balk at the notion of me saying surrender your independence. Because if they have the courage to be honest, a lot of women fear surrendering their independence because they fear retribution. Listen to me now. There was a school of thought when you talk about, racial politics and things like that. Well, I don't want to go down that path. I don't want to do that. Women feel that if you ask the average woman, did women have a better quality of life overall in the 30s, 40s, and 50s when they had fewer rights, when you were at home? And many women will tell you, if they're honest, that yeah, but they will always point out to the potential for harm. But that wasn't America. That wasn't this country. That wasn't even America. That wasn't even the black community under Jim Crow segregation and all this other stuff. We were better. And it was that fear that they used to get you out under this independence thing. So if you ask women, all right, look, ladies, if we could just, let's just do it this way. Let's just say, let's do it this way.
Now, reality can be whatever I want.
So that I just use my Thanos snap. Boop, and I snap it back and I remove no fault divorce. We reset the child custody post 1940, meaning if a woman divorced her husband or if a woman was divorced, she left with what she came with, and the kids went back and the kids were property. The kids stay with the father. She still had access, but they stayed with the father. And we took women's right to vote. Why is the right to vote in this scenario? Just listen. Because women are 51% of the population, they could still control the politics. In this world, you would have women set back to the 1920s or 30s. Now, if the exchange was you get to go back to that way of living, you get to have access to you get to have access to a man who's willing to work to provide for you and the family. You get the option to not, if you're married, you get the option to not have to work outside of the home. Everybody doesn't get a mansion. Every woman doesn't get a Rolls Royce. You're not living like Beverly Hills, Uncle Phil and Viv and Bel Air. No, you're living just like your grandmother and your grandfather did. You don't get a luxury life, but you do get a family. You get a family, you get a neighborhood, you get a community. You get all of the things that so many women say they want, and you get the country or even the community that so many of us idolize and remember back in the day. Seems like a pretty good trade-off. But if you ask most women would they want to do that, they would tell you no. And you know why? Because if we did that, if we gave up all these, because the women have to voluntarily give up these rights, they fear what men would do with all that power. Get the likes up, folks. Women fear what men would do with all that power. You know why? Because women know what they would do to men if they had all that power. When women are being honest, women realize what they've been able to do to men and regarding men with such little power, according to them. Women don't trust themselves. And back. You can make an argument that women don't trust themselves because women know female nature. Let's talk about it, ladies. Ladies, Are you willing? Are you ready to surrender? Are you willing to surrender? Are you willing to surrender your independence? Are you willing to surrender your right to vote? Are you willing to the right to vote? We don't worry about that one. Are you willing to surrender your independence? Are you willing to walk around wearing the white flag of surrender? Shout out for Theo Answer. Appreciate it, my friend. Are you willing to surrender? Walk around wearing the white flag of surrender. And I'm telling you, a lot of women I work with one-on-one, if they want to, they'll tell you. A lot of women will tell you that as a result of working with me, they've as a result of working with me, they've got a better outcome in their relationship. You're damn right. A lot of women will tell you, as a result of working with you, Kevin, you know, I may not, the things that I thought I wanted, I don't want anymore. And I'm so happy that so many women are starting to realize that, you know what? I thought I wanted to get out here and work. I thought I wanted to get out here and compete amongst the boys. But you know what? A lot of women are like, I like being a girl. A lot of women are like, I like working part-time for my man. I like working. A lot of women are like, I like the notion of working for my man. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my woman will work for me. Part of being my lady is you going to work for me. If I'm dealing with somebody one-on-one, you can rest assured there is a plan in place to retire her quickly because I'm territorial. I'm territorial and I want you around. I don't want you out there taking orders from anybody else. I don't want anybody else paying you. I want your skills to be used for our benefit, and I want you to have time to rest in your femininity so you can be available for me. And I want you out there commuting and having to do all that other stuff. I'll do that. Let me do that. Shoulders, pressure, made for shoulders, not hips. And so many women are like, oh, that sounds good, but black men, shut that up. I get tired of hearing women say, yeah. Only thing you got to worry about is becoming the woman that one of these men would want. See, you can't sit back and say, yeah, that's fine, but black men ain't at that level. Yeah, they are. They're black men at that level right now. And over the next 9 months, I'm going to be revealing them, especially when we go to our events. But see, gentlemen, why they do that, and so many women have to believe that you're not out there so they can be justified in not doing the work. That's the whole thing. Well, I would if he was really out there. Oh, he's out there. He's out there. But are you willing to pre-qualify? How many women are ready to actually pre-qualify for a man? How many women are ready to actually do the work of making themselves, whether you like this woman, and I'm going to use her as an example. There's a channel on YouTube called School of Affluence, and her name is Anna Bay. Anna Bay, I've heard the term yacht girl being thrown around, but Anna Bay has recreated herself. Okay? And no matter what you think about this woman, Anna Bay has recreated herself. She has gone from being on some reality TV show, passed out, face down in the bathroom, puking, to, hello, my elegant ladies, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm here for it. She has done a lot of work on herself. She's had work physically done. But what I'm here for is a woman who said, I want to live a lifestyle a high lifestyle. And she did the work. And that's the thing. How many women, let's use the Kardashians for an example. They weren't born looking like that. How many of these women were born looking like that? But they're willing to do the work. I'm here for it. I'm here for any woman that's willing to do the work. Go get the nips, to go make the money to invest in putting yourself around. And she's actually offered a blueprint. And people are like, well, she's a gold digger. I'm here for it. Good. Kudos to you, Anna. And there are other women out there who are on this upgrade and level up. But the thing is, I'm here for the women who do the work. And I'm going to tell you, they will get the kind of men, women like, well, maybe not them in particular, women like them will get the kind of men they seek. And they'll make a deal. Forget what you may think you know about this woman and just ask yourself, what do you think Ivanka Trump did? That's what she did. I'm here for it. And the men who are out here, who are looking for wives, especially executive wives or wives to fill a unique spot, yeah, they ain't got a problem with it. I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to relationships, I am not a purist. I'm a realist. I don't want to go back to the time of Adam and Eve. If that's what you got, cool. I'm a realist. Relationships are about outcomes. And this whole notion of women talking about they want to make power couples and things like that. Well, guess what? In order to be a power couple, you got to already be there. You got to already I mean, look at her. This woman was a brunette. I think she had a nose done. She had a lot of work done. Good for her. And men, be all right when a woman decides to do that. As a man, you'd rather sit back and say, good for you. Good for you. Men are okay with it. Men are all right with it. Ladies, if you have any questions about this, if you have any questions, now's your time. Hit the link. Especially if you have a disagreement. I want to hear the ladies who think I may be off base or you disagree, because that's how we move the conversation forward. Ladies, if you have a question or you have a disagreement, we can actually have a respectful conversation. The only thing I ask is don't overtalk the host and stay on topic. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Anna Bay, in order to keep her maintain her figure, she has to work out. She has to have a certain kind of caloric intake. And I'm going to tell you, when I was leaving Miami this morning, it was amazing when I'm on the plane. You can tell who's really trying to get an outcome. You know how many bonnets I saw? You know how many fake Louis Vuitton masks? And how many girls in flip-flops and long Cupid doll eyelashes and just thick as French toast? And I'm like, who do you think is going to marry that? Who do you think is going to marry that? I'm here for the women who say, you know what? I'm going to take my hustle up. I'm going to get me a part-time job and work myself up. I'm going to learn about this kind of lifestyle. I'm going to take some etiquette classes, learn how to learn how to ballroom dance, learn how to properly sit, speak, converse. Because I'm going to tell you right now, shout out to Uncle D. When you're around people at a certain level, they know if you fit or not. Ladies, a lot of you would blow an opportunity just because you don't understand the cultural cues, especially In the black community, we're going to have to start talking about this notion of social class and separation. We act like that's a taboo topic. I'm not at all. I'm not going to act like any of this stuff is a taboo topic, because there is somebody who is, like I said, if you want purity, if you're mission focused and you want it to go back to what it was, whatever, that ain't here. Over here, you making deals. Over here, it's a negotiation. You get what you negotiate. Get on camera. If you're not on camera, I'm not going to speak to you. You don't have to be on YouTube, but you must be on camera. I got to see you. All right. You get what you negotiate, ladies. You get what you negotiate. And if other women can go from being strippers and dancers and yacht girls and 304s and all this other kind of stuff to shit. What? Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How old are you?
25.
All right. So what's the question?
My question is, if a woman would like to surrender, how would she be able to surrender if she's not brought up to, I guess, go about, finding like a husband or a man of value to like live that life?
How would a woman go about surrendering if she was not brought up to be a wife?
Yeah. Like if she don't know how to surrender.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use the example that most people can relate to: college. If you're willing to put your effort into going to college and go into debt for college, you can do it for a man. In other words, you're gonna have to go into debt. You're gonna have to do a lot of work. You have to lose sleep. It ain't easy. But I tell you what, it's easier than. It's easier than being a spinster. It's easier than being an unmarried woman for the rest of your life. It's easier than being a single mother, I tell you that much. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I'm trying to like stay concise here. It's just, I understand that aspect, but in the sense of like right now, I mean, I already went to school, but like, I don't know how to like not, I guess, have a job. I wasn't giving that up, but do I just give it up like now and focus on trying to be a wife, or do I keep my livelihood?
Okay. Okay. What's the outcome you want? Do you want to be married?
Yes.
Why?
I want to raise a family and focus on my husband and kids.
Okay.
And to build that community.
Were you raised to be a wife?
No.
Then how do you plan on becoming a wife? If you want to be a wife because you want to raise a family and have kids and all these things right there, cool. But if you weren't raised to be a wife, how do you plan to bridge that gap?
Just listen to men more. I look into like married couples and see how they operate, like successful married couples. Mm-hmm. My grandparents were married, so okay. I kind of. So in other words,
you just plan on being passive.
The way my grandma.
Ma'am. So in other words, you plan on being passive, watching, sitting. What actively do you plan on doing on a consistent daily basis for a long time?
Currently, I mean, I cook a lot. I help my dad. I live with my dad, so I help him keep the house clean. He don't really have to clean because he working a lot, so I keep the house handled. So I'm learning how to do those
You're
domestic
25?
duties, like. Mm-hmm.
So you are 2 years from.
Danger zone!
I asked a specific question. What do you actively plan on doing on a daily basis for a long period of time to make yourself a wife? And see, the question I'm asking you, the answer is I don't, nothing. I want it, and I'm going to watch people, which is easy. I'm going to listen to my grandma. That's easy. That's passive. Have you ever, did you ever play athletic? You ever play sports? Any sports, basketball, anything like that?
Yeah, I did track and cross country.
Track and cross country. You know what? I bet you if you sat down and watched the Olympics and watched some cross country, you could watch some of the best running form in the world. But it's a hell of a lot different getting out there and running in those elements now, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right. So any man who wants a wife wants a woman who's out there running in those elements, not somebody who's just watching the Olympics.
All right. So I guess this is what I meant by like not knowing how to surrender. So as far as actively doing, what can like I do to actively prepare myself to be a wife?
Where's your mother?
She's around.
Okay. Well, the problem you have is no one taught you. Men can't teach you. Men can't teach you.
That.
So I don't have an answer for you, man, because the truth is it likely won't happen. There are a lot of people going to lose because they're deciding to do too little too late. I can't fix everything, but the question is, do you want to be the one of the people who loses?
No.
Then you better run. Then you better run. Then you better get your ass out there and do more than just listen, more than just cook for your daddy. Look, think of it this way. Imagine if graduating from high school by law, imagine if graduating from high school by law locked you into minimum wage jobs. That's all you could ever do is minimum wage. And if you wanted to earn anything higher than minimum wage, you would have to have at least a 2-year associate's degree. What would you do? Would you get a 2-year associate's degree, or would you just make do with the minimum wage for the rest of your life?
No, I'll get a 2-year associate's degree.
Thank you. See, and what I want you guys to understand is so many of our women don't realize how lazy they are when it comes to competing for a man. I had a bit on Instagram yesterday where I asked a sister, a young woman, if she would step over her best friend or a homie to get to one man who was interested in all of them, but he was only going to pick one. And she said what most of black women say, no. She was more concerned with not offending her friend. Ma'am, basically what I'm telling you, what you want is rare and very special. And you can't, and you're 25. You don't have time to be wasting, moving this slow. Your mom didn't teach you? Okay. You said you're going to learn from your grandmother. Okay, learn what? How old is your grandmother? First off, how old is your grandmother? How old is your grandmother?
Well, she passed. And like just she dealt with.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
How
You're
old is
breaking
she?
up. You're breaking up. Say that again. She's passed. And what?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you said your grandmother passed. Then what?
Oh, I was just saying like she passed. So, but before she passed, just reflecting on how she dealt with my grandfather.
Passed.
And, like,
I want you to understand. She's passed, and you're reflecting on how she dealt with your grandmother. Young lady, that is a poor, lazy way. That's lazy. I mean, do you understand the logic? Your grandma, okay. You're reflecting on what your grandmother did for your grandfather, right?
Yes.
But she didn't teach you how. You don't know. You weren't taught. And ma'am, that's not going to work. Reflecting on how your grandmother treated your grandfather when she didn't teach you, that doesn't work. And see, I want you guys to understand that if a man, if you had to eat to survive, and your hunting skills were like your relationship skills, would you survive or would you die? There you go, people.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Did you say something?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I said, if you had to hunt to survive, if you had to hunt to eat in order to eat to survive, right?
Yes.
If your relationship skills or your wife skills were like your hunting skills, would you be able to eat?
I believe I would.
Oh,
Not every day.
Please explain it to us. Then please explain it to us. Not every day. So it takes three minutes without air, oxygen to die. 3 days without water. 3 weeks without food. In a 7-day week, how many days do you think you would eat a full diet?
I would say 4.
4 days.
Yes.
What was your last relationship?
I'm currently in a relationship right now.
How long have you been in it?
7 months.
How old is the man?
28.
I'm not even going to go down that path because, ma'am, I think you're being extremely optimistic, saying the skills you described will get you fed. You would eat every other day. Because what you got to realize is if you're hungry in the morning and you don't eat by noon, you're hungry. By the afternoon, your stomach is rumbling. And if you don't hunt something down, you go to sleep on an empty stomach. Do you think you're gonna wake up the next day full of energy, ready to hunt? Have you ever missed a meal because of a lack of food, meaning there was no food available?
Not by force. I mean, I fasted.
No, meaning no. See, and I'm doing this to show you how women just don't. And this is no ding at you, young lady. So I don't want you to take it that way. But women vastly overestimate and underestimate things. Y'all overestimate how hard something is or how easy something is. Based on our conversation, I think you probably would eat every 2 or 3 days. Actually, I don't think it would happen. I think you would eat, then you'd try to hunt something and it wouldn't happen. I think you would sit there and try to figure it out. I don't think that you would dig around and eat worms and crickets and leaves or whatever it is. I think you would just wait. Because every day you're not eating, you're getting weaker. At 25, you're approaching marriage and the marital skills by basically, I'm just going to be passive. What my grandmother did, insufficient. That's why I said we need wife school. We need wife school so you ladies can go to school and enroll, and somebody can give you coursework and homework and things to do that you should have had at home. Because the typical woman today, even if she wants the outcome, it may be wrong to say, but I think y'all are too lazy to even go figure it out. But I'll tell you right now, if I would have won rife school, I would charge you 3-4 times what the college tuition would charge you. I'd make it a premium. You're going to pay us. Come on in, Ash. Go ahead. Do you have another question? I mean, I hope it may not be what you wanted to hear, man, but does this man want to marry? Do you want to marry this guy?
Yes.
Does he have any children?
No.
What does he do for a living?
He's currently in the military and going to school for cybersecurity.
Has your father met him?
Yes.
What does your father think of him?
My father likes him.
So what's the plan?
Well, currently we're talking about marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And
what time frame?
Well, I did kind of let it know I don't want to be in like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship for over maximum 2 years.
2 years. How often have you watched my program?
I've been watching you since last year. I watch you
2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said you're not a wife. Right there, it automatically shows none of that makes any sense. 2 years. Nope. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. 2 years. Why would it need? What are you going to learn in 2 years that you won't know in a year?
How? I don't really have anything for that.
Right. So, see, that's what I mean. So many of our women know that they're not, and no offense, man, but what you basically just showed is so many of our women are not wives. So you're not in any real hurry to get to wife. 2 years? Okay, cool. Waste that time. I'm just saying that's crazy to me, but that's okay. Did your grandmother? Hold on, unmute yourself, man. Did your grandmother? Was she with your grandfather 2 years before they got married? Ashley, unmute yourself. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, awesome. So my grandmother was not married to my
Well, first off, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Are you single or are you married?
I am single.
Any children?
Yes, one son who's 9.
Okay, go ahead.
He currently lives with his dad.
Okay, go ahead. Should modern women surrender?
I am in the process of surrendering.
To whom? To whom?
To a gentleman who's interested in me. So a year ago, I relocated from the East Coast to the West Coast. So right now I'm living in San Diego. And so the two of us have been doing this thing where it's like a long distance relationship, but it's an open relationship right now. So, but you know, I
An
travel
open
back and forth quite
relationship?
often. Yeah. So, he's been kind of waiting on me. I'm sure that he's,
What do you mean
you know,
waiting
been
on you?
doing his
Waiting on you
bit as
meaning
well.
what? Waiting on you meaning what?
While I figured things out. So I had a job opportunity out here in San Diego. So I took it. I've been fortunate enough to have, you know, a lot of support from family. Like I said, my
Okay, hold
son
on. Stop, stop,
stays
stop,
with
stop,
his
stop, stop,
dad.
stop, 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 stop. How long you been seeing
Okay.
this man?
So it's going on 2 years.
Does he have any kids?
Yes, he does, from a prior marriage.
So this man has been waiting on you. So you lived in the same geography at one time?
I did.
So you moved away for a job?
Yes.
Dude, leave her.
Well,
Leave
he's been
her. Leave
traveling
her.
here.
Leave
I
her.
travel.
Leave her. Leave her.
Well, this is the thing. So now we're looking for homes together.
No, 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 no.
So
No, 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 no,
I'm
no, no,
ready
no,
to
no, no, no,
move
no, no, no,
back.
no, 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 no. You left a man for a job.
Kevin, okay. So let me tell you.
First of all, I want to be clear on what I'm saying. You left a man for a job.
Well, we weren't in a relationship at the
Okay.
time. So
Okay, but was it part? You said how? I said how long you been with this man? You said for 2 years.
yeah. So
Has it been an open
it's
relationship
been
for
this
two?
back and forth.
Do not over talk me. I'll let you get it out, but you see, the thing is, you're not gonna. I'm gonna control what comes out. You can't over talk me. You're not gonna. I'm gonna get to what it is, so you might as well just tell the truth. Okay.
I am.
Okay, well then, walk with the process. Were you guys in an open relationship the entire time?
No.
Okay, were you boyfriend? Were you guys in a committed monogamous relationship when you moved?
Yes.
Then leave her.
But you have to know the whole story, story, the shortened version.
Okay, go ahead.
You would be proud of me. So this person, he was in the process of a divorce, a nasty divorce when we started talking. He was wanting to kind of speed things up between he and I wanted to take things slow out of respect for that marriage and the divorce and, you know, the fact that he has 3 children from that marriage. So it's just been a lot to consider. I will say that I am surrendering now because.
And just to be clear, you were not married to your. Just to be clear, you weren't married to your child's father.
No, we weren't.
How long were y'all together?
We were together for about 2 years.
Before you got pregnant?
Yes. And then we.
Hold on. You were together 2 years before you got pregnant. I'm just being
almost 2 years.
Why didn't y'all get married? Why didn't y'all get married?
He's a lot older than I, and I just.
What difference does it make? You carried this. Hold on, ma'am. I don't understand why you like. I don't care. You had his child. Why didn't you marry him?
Because, like I said, I think that we were already going in different directions.
Stop, ma'am.
And I agree. You know, like I said, my son
I said stop. I said stop.
Okay.
I said stop. You've been telling this story so long. I don't buy the bullshit. You were with a man that the relationship, he's older than da 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 da. See, what we as men here, I'm gonna be honest. Are you ready? What me as men here? Why the F did you have his kid then? If he was older than you and going,
Yeah.
Why did you have his kid if he was older and you were going in different directions? You'd already been in a relationship for 2 years.
Yeah.
Why did you have a baby?
Well, because I was almost 30 And
thank you. Selfish. Just thanks.
I agree.
Selfish. Just like I
I
said.
agree.
I'm sorry, audience. I call it. Yeah, I may not understand that I know how to read stuff, but I read selfish. It's a selfish.
Sure.
You were involved with a man who's not even divorced, ma'am. You dated an older
Now he
man.
is.
You're shush. Involved with a man who's older, and we're going in different directions. Then you should have just let the relationship end. But no, your clock was ticking, and you found a man that was loose with his seed. And this is what they do. Modern women do this too often. They know they're about to hit the door, and they will take a baby from you, guys. Stop having unprotected sex with modern women. You may not like my way of saying it, man, but I'm here for the men, and they need to watch out for this shit.
No, I agree with you.
Well, I'm good that you agree
1000%
because at
now.
the end of the day,
I'm
you
older
raising
and
the
wiser.
you over.
Yeah.
God damn it! If you try to overtalk me one more time, I will shut this shit down.
Okay.
I'm be honest, man. I just have one basic rule. Okay. I know you have to hear me talking. Why are you trying to talk over or through me? Just explain. Go ahead. Why are you trying to talk
Poor
over or through me?
communication.
Huh?
Poor communication.
Not poor communication. You're rude. And you're masculine. If a man were to do that, I'd punch him in the face. But you know men can't do that. And you're raising a boy. That's why I said, ma'am, I don't have to know all the details. But when you are good at what you do, human beings, we like to think we're so special. Ma'am, you're a woman who was with a man who you chose to make a baby with when you knew you weren't going to marry him. That was extremely selfish. You chose to be a single mother. Did you go to college?
Yes,
Did you complete college?
I have.
What's your degree in?
Accounting.
So you're smart enough and literate enough to know all of the statistics regarding a single mother-led child, but you chose to do it anyway.
I did.
Right. And then you go from one man who you saying whatever the reason, then you go get with a man who's not even finalized his divorce.
Well, right. I waited until the divorce was final to, solidify our relationship. So that's what I'm saying. He was more in a rush than I was. So I did wait until the divorce was final.
I got news for you, man. I got news for you. I got news for you, Chica.
Separated.
I got news for you, Chica. You shouldn't have been involved with this dude in the first place.
Well, we just hung out, just dating,
See,
dinner,
I want you guys to understand something. I want you to understand something. Mm-hmm. She's trying to make her poor picking a virtue. I said you went and chose somebody who hadn't even finalized his divorce. And if she was really a wife and really accountable, she would have said, "You're right. That was another poor choice on my part. I picked a man who was emotionally unavailable and tied to another situation." But she still tried to turn that into a veiled positive. No. How about, my question is, why didn't you get with a man who was looking for a wife who was emotionally free and available and thorough? Why did you choose a man who was still married to help him commit adultery?
Well, we weren't having sex at that time.
I'm sorry. Ma'am.
So I don't think that, it was full on
God damn it.
adultery.
I don't full on adult. I'm sorry. Are there degrees of adultery?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that if you're
Guys, you can't make this shit up.
legally separated, well, if you're legally
Ma'am,
separated, I mean,
shut your. No. No. I don't want to be rude, man, but I'm not going to have you overtalk me. See, I want you to understand selfish women feel like they can make their own rules. This is why I told you to run from her, man. A woman who's, I'm going to make my own rules, do what I want. And you said I'll be proud. No, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself before you start talking.
yes. So this is why I have been wanting to speak to you briefly, because I do agree that at one point in time I was very selfish and, out for self. I think that I've been fortunate enough to, have dated great guys. And kind of like a feeling. And now I finally feel like I'm ready, and I'm 38. And,
holy shit, look at that rabbit hyena just ripping this guy's nuts off.
He understands me. He's intelligent.
Surely you can't be
Very
serious.
successful.
I am serious.
This is a certified hood classic.
Holy shit,
I
look
don't
at
know, he
that
just
rabbit
really
hyena
treats
just
me
ripping this
well.
guy's nuts off.
And so now I'm here in San Diego. He's from the East Coast, and we're looking for him together. I feel that I'm in the process of surrendering and, trying to let go of that masculine, controlling energy. Oh my God. And I just, want to be with him. So I do feel that we have to surrender, especially if we have these self-sabotaging ways and self-destructive ways in which I did. I want to have no children unless I'm married. So, I've been listening to your show, and I
tomorrow from 5 to 7,
1,000% there that our culture just needs to do better.
What was that?
Not,
I have a shoulder on you,
nothing. So I've come a long way, I would say, in the last 2 years after watching your show. So definitely, I didn't like your delivery in the beginning. But, I can be a very straightforward, raw, and uncut person. And so I really appreciate it now. So, and I think that I'm on my way to a successful long-term relationship. So I think that, yes, to answer your question, sometimes we should surrender. As long as you're surrendering to the type of guy who's going to lead you in the right direction and take charge and just do the things that it takes to make you happy and to respect you. So I agree.
How long do you think you were talking?
For less than a minute.
Less than a minute?
Was I not? I'm thanking you. I used to talk like cash shit about your show to all of my friends. And I don't know, sometime in the beginning of 2021, like things just clicked.
I rebuke.
So yes, I'm here to thank you.
Self-awareness is key, people. And I've had to tell this woman, how many times to not overtalk me. She said the issue's a communication problem. I've had to mute her. I've had to almost curse at her. And then when I just let her talk, she said she's been talking less than a minute. Ma'am, you were talking almost 4 minutes. Over 4 minutes.
Well, I'm really
I need you to understand something, ma'am. This is why therapy is so important. You are clueless. And that's okay. But somebody needs to be able to tell you. I get that you used to call cash shit, but still, you still are in the same place. Maybe not in the same place, but you can't.
No,
that was a minute,
not.
Ma'am. Don't overtalk me. The need to be right is so strong with you. You take a left turn and try to make it a right turn. Ma'am, at the end of the day, would you tell your daughter, if you had one, to pursue a man who hadn't finalized his divorce? Yes or no? No gray areas. Yes or no.
No.
Thank you. Then that's all we need to hear. Would you tell your daughter if she had a child by another man and she to pursue a man who had not finalized his divorce?
No.
What do you think your son sees, ma'am?
I would say that he's seen a lot of mistakes that his mom has made. And, all I can do is learn from those mistakes and not repeat them and, take things slower. And I feel that that's what I've been doing.
You were seeing a married man. Is the divorce final? Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
How long has the divorce been final?
A little over a year now.
A little over a year.
Yes.
You were in a committed relationship with a man who was 2 years ago, but the divorce has been final over the year. Did you move for your job more than a year ago?
Earlier this month has been a year.
What's the next step in the relationship?
Well, if we decide to get back together, I think marriage, we've discussed that. And like I said, we're looking for a home together. I believe that you should live with someone before you get married.
You need to be in a straitjacket.
Why?
Well, the ladies in the hold on, excuse me. What I need, honestly, what I need is some women to come up to the platform and talk to her. Okay. I need women to come up to the platform because she's not hearing me. I asked, what's the next step in the relationship? She said, if we get back together, marriage, but they're going to shack first. So yes. I don't need I don't need the amen choir, ma'am. You're going to move your son in with a man who's not his father and not your husband. For what reason?
Well, my son lives with his dad.
Okay. So, why would you? Thank God for small miracles. Why would you be moving in with a man prior to marriage? What do you hope to gain? What do you hope to learn?
Well, I just would like us to spend the time together, the 24/7 day-to-day time together, and then decide if marriage is what we want to do.
Run, dude.
I mean, he's okay with this, so I don't understand.
All right, well, he's okay with it. I understand why he's okay with it. He can't do no better.
Why do you think?
Because he can't do better.
Well, he's been married before.
Ma'am,
so
you asked. We pick what we can get. We can pick what we can get. And I'm talking to you right now. You need to ask yourself a question. What kind of, if a man would, if a man was in such high demand, no offense, man, but think about what we're talking about. He hadn't finalized his divorce. If he had, do you believe that human beings pick the best option that they have?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're the best option that he has, and you're the best option that, and vice versa. But neither one of you are great options at this point. Shacking up is not a trial run for marriage. Just like having a child out of wedlock, the science and the data on that settled. You know that. So more decisions made in fear, scarcity, and lack. More women in charge of this stuff. You're running the process, not him. Would you disagree?
I think that we're on the same page.
Did he want to marry you before you moved?
We spoke about it.
Did he want to marry you before you moved?
He hadn't proposed, but we spoke about it.
Did he ask you not to move, or did he encourage you to move?
He encouraged me to move.
Okay. Why?
Because I, was going back and forth. Like I said, I had a great opportunity.
Back and forth what? Back and forth to work?
No, I was going back and forth with a decision on whether or not I was going to move across the country. And, it was a great opportunity, like I said.
Ma'am, think about what I'm asking. Men are territorial. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
See, they want to finish the stories themselves. Ma'am, men are territorial. Why would a man send a woman he wants away?
I think it's because I would have resented the decision.
So I want you guys to remember at the beginning of the broadcast when I said that if you're going to be my woman, you're going to work for me because I'm territorial. See, when men are two different mindsets. That's why I say y'all are both don't need to be together. This is crazy. This won't work. It won't work. It won't work. It won't work. And you can talk all you want to. It won't work. I'm back and forth, back and forth. All this is crazy. I'm going to move out here. You go on out there. It's great. I'm not finished. This is what happens when we don't.
I decided to stay?
This is what happens when we don't get therapy. This is what happens when we don't do the work. Broken people running out, bumping into broken people. This is what happens when you don't do the work. Broken people bumping into broken people. But I'm on the guy's side. Dude, you sent her away because she wasn't going to stay in our way. What she said, I would have resented him. Selfish. You had a baby because you wanted a baby. You decided to make your child a product of a single parent household. All your decisions are about you. Run from women who think like this. I don't care how nice they try to make it sound. Ma'am, all your decisions were about you. You gotta unmute yourself. All your decisions were about you, ma'am. Your decision to have a child was about you. Did your son's father ask for the boy?
No, I asked him.
Why?
While I got settled out here in California, I asked if it was okay.
Oh, okay. So when you went to go get the job that you wanted, that was about you. Because if you hadn't have gone, you'd have resented the man you trying to convince us that it's right with. But you left him because he know if you'd have stayed, you'd have resented him. Then you turned around and broke the daddy in the glass who you just got the sperm donation for. Then you turned around and said, oh, by the way, even though you didn't necessarily I didn't want it to be your wife. And I decided to make you a daddy on the way out the door. Why don't you go ahead and take your son while I go live out in California? Selfish as shit, man.
I've been out here for a year, and I've traveled back to the East Coast 10 times within the year. So ladies in the chat room,
I need ladies in the chat room. Don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk. I don't want to hear that shit. Ladies in the chat room, if you believe she's selfish, put a 1 in the chat room. If you believe she's not selfish, put a 5. Ladies only. See, when women try to overtalk you, they know they've messed up. This is when they try to baffle you with bullshit or talk you into submission. That shit won't work here, man. You can smile all you want to. I can't make this shit up.
You couldn't make this stuff up.
I don't make this shit up. I just talk to women. I don't make this stuff up. I let women just talk. Look at the women. Look at all the ones. Look at the women. This is so sad. Yep, ma'am. I got no dog in this fight. You can shake your head all you want to. Look at her. She ain't nobody right. We all wrong. All of us wrong. Yep. Look at all these ones. Shout out Luke Casely. Look at her. Look at her. Look at all these ones. We all wrong. But go ahead. Unmute yourself because I do want you to speak. But man, before you speak, I want you to understand something. No one has a dog in this fight. Can you at least put your professional hat on and just accept how it's coming across to people?
Sure. Well, because when I'm trying to tell you the entire story, it's just like, I can't do that. And we don't have enough time for me to tell my side of the story, really, the entire thing. And it's just, I don't know.
Why do you, so you believe if I had enough information, I would side with what you're saying?
I think so.
No.
I'm just like, I feel that, moms relocate every day if they're pursuing a career or if there's a great opportunity to.
See, what I want you to understand something, folks. She said, I believe moms, don't talk to me. I believe moms relocate every day if they're pursuing a career. And that's what's fucked up because you didn't say wives. I don't want to hear it. You said moms. You didn't say wives. And you said a career. And that's the same thing that's fucking up this country and our community. A bunch of selfish ass women doing what they want to do and trying to make us okay with it. Ladies, stop co-signing this shit. Gentlemen, stop dealing with them. And I guarantee you, if women stopped co-signing this and men stopped dealing with them, they would get the picture that this is unacceptable. You, ma'am, chose to make a baby with a man you knew you weren't going to marry. You did that. You did that. You did that. It was selfish. You're with a man who's not completely divorced. You chose to be with that messy situation. You did that. And then I asked you, okay, if y'all are together, why did he choose to send you away? You said because he knew I don't need you to overtalk me. He said that he knew that if I didn't move, I would likely resent him. So he had no choice but to let you go do what you wanted to do. Then on your way out the door, you asked baby daddy, hey, why don't you keep your son that you didn't even, I'd even marry you and I wasn't your wife. Why don't you keep your son? Because it's about you. Ma'am, it's selfish. Selfish. Do you think your son wants to be raised split between mommy and daddy like this?
Well, that wasn't my intention, but.
So you intended to marry him when you got pregnant?
No, not when I got pregnant.
Okay, then, ma'am, I asked the question again. Do you think your son wants to be raised split between mommy and daddy like this? Then I don't need to hear. See, that's why I don't need to hear your story. I asked, do you think your son wanted to be married or split between? No, but your intentions were not to marry him. So your intentions were to raise him split between mommy and daddy. See, I'm good at what I do. So I don't need to listen to your bullshit.
Well, it's not all bullshit, Kevin, because
it's bullshit that you decided to become a single mother based upon what you wanted, and you put yourself over what the best for the kid. That's the bullshit. I don't care that you make enough money that you can afford to give him a higher quality of living. You can put him in private school. He can have a little Ralph Lauren outfit and he can speak 3 languages and play polo. I care the fact that he doesn't have a dad in the house. That's what I care about. Because fathers matter, ma'am. Were you raised with yours?
Yes. Until I was 9, he and my mom separated.
Why'd your mom leave your father?
Just irreconcilable differences. My dad, loved to enjoy himself and, partied. And so.
Is your father still alive?
Yes, he is.
Have you got your father's side of the story from his own mouth?
Not really.
No, then I don't want to hear this shit. Again, more women telling women lies. You know, ma'am, there are three sides of the story: your mama's side, your daddy's side, and the truth. Don't tell me what your daddy did in his marriage if you ain't had enough respect for your father to sit your grown ass down and hear your father's side from him. You have little to no respect for men. And that's what this whole conversation has proved. And the apple don't fall far from the tree. In a lot of these cases, you are raising a son. And this is why it matters. You wonder why the black community is at the bottom? Look who's raising the black boys. What chance do you have when the environment is so poisoned against what it is to be a man?
Okay, so why were you against the fact that I asked his dad, my son's dad, to keep him while I moved I'm against
I'm against the fact that you made the decision to get pregnant outside of marriage. That's what I'm against.
Right.
You did that. You asked him to keep him not because it was best for your son, because it was best for you.
Well, I think it was.
Let me ask you one question. Sure. Have you signed over physical custody, primary custody to your child's father?
No.
Thank you. Then I don't need to hear shit else. You're still mother of record. See, if you could have, I would have gone with you if you said, you know what? I had him for the first 7 years, but you know what? It takes a man to raise a boy. I'm going to sign over custody. I'm going to be the non-custodial parent. You raise our son. I pay child support. Then you'd have had a dog in the fight. Guys.
I do pay child support voluntarily. So, and I travel back and forth.
I almost cussed at you, man. I almost cussed at you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. I pay child support. Oh, Jesus, don't cuss. Chick, he's got the boy.
I agree.
So I don't care. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
And it's temporary.
You see how deified they make themselves? But I do pay child support. How much you paying, man?
$600 a month.
And what state does he live in? Excuse me. What state does he live in?
South Carolina.
Uh-huh. What part of California do you live in?
San Diego.
Mm-hmm. How old is the son?
9.
9 years old. If you had to put your son in after school care or after any kind of extracurricular activities because you were working, how much would that cost you a month?
So after school is about $400 there.
400 when? 400 what?
$400 for a month for after school. And then any extracurricular, I don't know, it might be an additional $200-300 a month. So, ma'am,
what you just told everybody is if you had your own son, it would cost you more. He's getting $600 to be with his daddy, but it would cost you an additional $700 for him to be there. You getting a deal.
Well,
I want you guys to understand, this is why I stand 10 toes down with the men. Because before I got to YouTube, I listened to stuff like this in family courts for too long. I listened to how women twist the narrative. Ma'am, all I did is let you say what it is. But I do pay child support. Okay, you pay child support. Is your child's father on child support?
He was. So that's
Excuse me. Was it state order? Is it court order?
Yeah.
Has the court order been removed? It's a yes or no, man. I don't need to. Is it yes or no? No, it hasn't.
Yes,
no, it hasn't.
Yes, for now.
No, it's not. No, man. No, it's not for now. If the court order was been removed, it's removed. You'd have to file again. It's not removed.
Yes, it is removed because I don't receive any funds from him.
Man, so, the court doesn't care. How long has your son been with his father?
For a year.
The court doesn't move that fast. Even if you petition the court and said, all right, we're going to change physical primary custody for a year, it would take over a year to get this done. What you did was you made hey, Instead of you paying me, I'll pay you. And I hope that man has documentation showing that he
That's what
has
I
this.
tried to do.
I
He
hope
filed
that
for child
man has
support.
documentation that has physical custody of his son. And the reason he's not paying child support because I don't care how you slice it, he's getting a deal. She's getting a deal. Again, ma'am, I'll let you speak, but you can't overtalk me. When do you plan on having your son move back with you?
Well, it's supposed to be in August, but I don't want to move him to California at this point because I'm strongly considering moving back to the East Coast. So
if your son says he wants to stay with his father, what are you going to do?
I would let him.
Let him?
I would.
Would you
him.
sign over physical primary custody?
Absolutely.
Whoever you are, sir, while you have your son, I suggest that you go down to the court of jurisdiction and you file to get this case closed. You should go get custody of your son, sir, because this woman, no offense, ma'am, you're doing what you want to do, and that's cool. Sir, get your son. Get your son. Allow her to live her best life. Allow her to get her on record for paying you your support, just like you're on record for paying her support. Get all your rights. Not some agreement on an Excel spread file or Evernote. Is this shocking to hear me say stuff like this to you? Because apparently you thought you were looking at this a lot different.
I definitely was looking at this a lot different. I thought that I was doing the right thing in waiting on this last relationship and taking it slow. Again, like I said, he pursued me. I didn't want to enter into the relationship until the divorce was final. I could have totally cut things off, but I didn't. And so their divorce is final. And,
what kind do you think he will make a good stepfather for your son?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm still looking at the fact that you were dealing with a married man. These things matter, ma'am.
Okay. In my mind, I thought that because there was a legal separation, that it was okay to.
Ma'am,
like I said,
even if there's a legal
date.
separation, even if there's I tell women this, I tell men this. It's not officially done. See, people who are really clear, and I've done, and understand something. I'm not perfect. I've done stupid, messy stuff too. And I look back at the stupid, messy stuff I've done, and I'm like, the only reason I accepted that stupid, messy stuff was because I was broken. There's no way I would accept some of the stuff and do some of the stuff I did back then as clear as I am today. That's why I say we attract what we are. Man, I'm just showing you how chaotic this is.
Sure.
And I'm just saying it now. It's like, well, my son is okay. He's not missing any meals. He seems to be a healthy kid. He's happy. Yeah, but he doesn't have the one thing that so many people in the black community had while we were under Jim Crow segregation and black laws and all. We had families. He is split between mama and daddy, and I was a non-custodial parent, ma'am. It's not the same. We are not a parent non-custodially. Any non-custodial parent will tell you you're really not a parent. Kanye West is experiencing that right now. That when you're not in the house, you don't make rules. You pay bills. And you hope. And my point is, ma'am, we got here because you were honest and said, I wanted to have a child. But I don't know why so many of our women are okay with choosing to put children in a single parent situation based upon what you want. It's not fair to the kid. He has no siblings, right?
From his dad, yes. They're a lot older.
So in other words, no. So he's an only child as well. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
Have you studied only child syndrome?
I'm an only child. I'm my mom's only child.
I get it. It makes sense because only children tend to be selfish. So the takeaways of this, man. I know this might have been a lot, but think about your son. And then think about your dad. You don't know your father's story from his mouth. Just like you wanted me to hear the story, all of the details, so maybe that would change my mind. Well, why don't you apply that same logic to your father?
Well, my dad, after my mom and him split, he, remarried, and he's been in that relationship for about 27 years. And I mean, kudos to them for working through a lot, but it was extremely tumultuous because, again, he portrayed some of the same.
Holy shit, you still don't get it.
I'm sorry.
You're judging your father's relationship. You're judging your father's relationship through your mother's eyes. That's your daddy. I don't give a shit about your mama's troubles with her man.
He was a great father to me.
But you don't know. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to talk to the audience. This is what happens when you have, and did your mother remarry?
No.
Never. Your mother got a boyfriend?
Yes.
Has she had a boyfriend in her entire life, or has she been single most of her life?
A boyfriend. Different boyfriends.
Women defend their mothers. Kids defend their mothers. And all I'm saying is, all I hear about your father is what's going on in his relationship with his women. Ma'am, I don't give a donkey shit about what's going on between him and his women. That ain't none of your mother flipping business, daughter. Do you understand that? I don't care what your dad is doing with his dick between his women. He is your daddy, not your man.
Yeah. So what do you do? I spent most of my time with my father, and a lot of his actions and his characteristics.
Who had primary custody of you coming up?
My mom did.
Then I don't want to hear it. You spent a lot of time with your daddy. Ma'am, just listen. You are not going to be right in this one. You go in the comment section and look in the chat room and what the women are saying. I again stand on the fact that you chose to have a child outside of marriage. Selfish. Mm-hmm. Only child syndrome. You're an only child. Your mama's only child. You got to look at that. But the bottom line is, your dad could be the worst thing in the world to your mama. He's still your daddy. He's still your father. And you need to hear, and you need to judge your father. You need to judge your mother as harshly as you judge your father. Give your father as much grace as you give your mother. Forgive them both, forgive yourself, and move on. Because if you don't see, I don't think you see it right now. That's why I say therapy. Because far too many children, and especially in our community, don't get a chance to be kids. We are put in between of our parents' fucked up relationships. And it's fucked up because they weren't married. Most of our parents weren't married. We were born as a result of a fuck. And it sounds harsh. We were born as a result of a good time, not a loving marriage and a plan. And our parents may have loved us. They may have done the best they can for us, but they didn't plan for our births. They didn't plan for our lives. We survived. We weren't raised in a loving environment. And we sit back and we have to have reverence to things that's not healthy. That doesn't mean you need to crucify your mother or deify your father, but you need to just get out the fact that's your daddy. That's your daddy. You need to know. I'm gonna sit back. Stop judging your father's relationships. He's your daddy. How come other races of women can do this? How come you can see non-black women whose fathers can be adulterers, philanderers, gamblers, addicts, and you still hear him say, but that's my daddy. I love my daddy. But black women in particular.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like my daddy, he's still my dad. And like I said, he was a great father, but he was a terrible partner. And again,
why do you keep going back to his partner? I don't care what kind of partner he was. Anyway, I asked you, did you, and why this is important, folks, because I asked her, did she even know her father's side of the story from her mouth? You don't get it. And I've had enough. I put enough time into it. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. Had enough. This, and I want you to understand how invested we are in our own stories. I want you to understand how often she keeps going back to trying to talk about what kind of partner he was. Chick, he ain't your partner. And this is why so many of our women are incapable of relationships. Young lady, the woman who said you live with your dad, I said, what did you get taught? And I want you to understand, what the women teach the girls is what they do. Women teach the girls to look at the men like they look at their fathers. So girls are put in a position between wanting to be a daddy's girl and love daddy and defend mama. Hold on. I mean, it's not easy, but I don't. It's one of those things to where this is why so many times when black men are asking, what should we do? It's like, whew. Let me see. Did I miss any of this stuff? Audience, ladies in the audience, did I miss anything here? Did I overstate anything? I'm looking for the audience. I'm looking at the audience. Ladies, level set me on this. Did I miss anything? Did I overstate something? All right. She's not even trying to make. Okay, well. All right. I mean, look. Gentlemen, I know it can look daunting out here, especially with these uncomfortable conversations that we have often on this platform. But let me tell you something. What I want to highlight more going on the rest of this year, starting when we start going on these interactive events, is there are men and women getting together and winning. And it's one of those things where we got to go through this part. But this isn't the way it doesn't have to be this way. We can choose to make better decisions and choose to have better remainders of life than the first part. We can't change what happened, but we can choose to sit back and say, all right, how to move forward and do a better outcome. That's all it really gets down to. I should be connected to a live heart monitor. If y'all saw my heart rate, oh my God. No, man. And that's the ultimate point, because I mean, I want you to understand how many women feel like, because a lot of times guys, because we've been looking at this stuff so much, a lot of times this is like new news to women. They're like, whoa, I didn't know. I didn't get it. I mean, if you haven't been, If you don't really have anybody holding you accountable like we do as men, or like the world holds us, you got to realize that a lot of women are surprised by this stuff, and that's okay. It's really okay, ladies. It's really okay. At 80%, yeah. Right. Okay. So, it's past 1:00. We got a late start, guys. I'm back in Atlanta. You know, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. It's what I'm going to start doing though is I've already been doing it. I'm not going to stage any shows. I'm not going to stage a damn thing. But I'm actively looking to put men who have their shit together and women who want to be with them out here as well, because they do exist. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to sit here and spotlight it 90% of the time, because I'm only going to spotlight real stories that really happen. Because I'm not here to try to paint a narrative that's not there. We got a lot of work to do. Relationships in the West. That's the Black community. That's relationships in the West. But I also tell you, I know men who are like, I'm out of here. And next thing you know, I'm looking at men who are like happy with their fiancés and wives, and vice versa. I don't believe we're beyond hope. I don't believe we're beyond hope as long as the men are willing to make a standard. See, what I need a lot of guys to realize is we're the ones that are loyal. We stick with a football team since age of 5. Women are the ultimate survivalists. Women will change in under a generation. Women will change in under 5 years, because females are the ultimate survivalists. And the change, well, it won't be real. Well, if you want it to be to the DNA chromosomal level, then I'm sorry, sir. That's just an unrealistic expectation. But women respond to environmental changes. Men, we are built to oppose the environment. Shout out BGS. Women respond to the environment. You want women to change? Change the environment. Remember 2020, the environment changed. What was the response? Men, we oppose the environment. So change the environment. And what is the main thing we change women with? What is female currency? Attention and male validation. Men's attention and our validation is the lifeblood. It's air. That's why they care so much about what we say. That's why one person on one platform is called such a ruckus, because it's Fort Knox. That's what it is. That's the monetary system. All right, people. Appreciate it. Your Godfather for our contact this week. Thank you very much. Also, if you're not on Patreon, I'm going to do a Patreon stream Sunday. Give an update on the events that are coming up. It's going to be so fucking dope, boss. It's going to be dope. Anyway, like I always say, guys, peace till the next time your Godfather is gone. That didn't work right, but we're going to do it this way.